Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the 212A, it's the Tier 9 Soviet SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Lakeville, and it's under the command of Angelina75, and this is the second replay she submitted this week for the competition. Let's see how she gets on. Well, she's got the top gun, the 203mm howitzer is his main armament, or her main armament rather I should say, and right at the start she's going to go behind the rock and try to get into a decent position to shoot up the valley. Okay, this looks good. Okay, waiting for somebody to come up the valley. Remember, that valley is very slippery, the ground is very soft, which makes it difficult for enemy tanks to get up there, but she fires the round in, and oh! First hit is on a Noobs 16, who suffers a big hit for 427 hit points with that one round, and that's certainly going to be very, very annoying to him, because he probably didn't expect that he would lose so much so quickly. Okay. Oh, now this is interesting. For a brief moment, we saw a tortoise coming up the valley, and, well, basically, they're just giant pinatas for Arty. Lines up, rounds out.
That was close.
And it landed in front of the tortoise for 224. Now, you can see Angelina's alternating between the original firing position and the secondary one. And that's good, because that throws off the enemy Arty, so they can't do a counter battery, simply because she's not there anymore. She's not where she was. And in fact, the tortoise has already gone down. It's already been taken out of the game. Oh, we didn't get to see that one so well because it was in close up. So we'll run that back if you don't mind. Yes, unfortunately, the system will put things into close-up straight off, and Angelina fires the round at the Noobs, loads, rounds out, and wipes him out. 365 hit points, that's all he had left, but she got the kill, and that's her first kill of the game. There's only been 2 kills in the game so far, and yet again she's changed position to avoid counter battery. You can see why she's got the ace tanker marks on the rear of the vehicle, because she does know how to do it. Okay. She was going to go for the Centurion 7-1, but instead she selected the Jaeger, rounds out. A direct hit. Only 174. It hit the tracks of the Jaeger. But again, she's moving before the enemy Arty can counter battery. And the enemy Arty in this one is an M53, M55. Now notice what she's doing. I think she's selling him a dummy here, because she's only moved a little bit over to avoid the enemy Arty from actually getting a direct hit on her. But she's going to go for the Jaeger again. Rounds out. Another direct hit, this time for a 305. So this Arty will do 900 alpha, penetrating 52mm of armor. And it's got a standard reload time of 37.39 seconds, but Angelina's managed to reduce that quite a bit. Okay, well, she's selected, well, for a moment she saw the enemy Arty appear on the mini-map, but he's probably not there anymore, and because of that rock in front of her, she can't get a shot. But what she can do is shoot at the enemy in the town, if she needs to. In fact, I think that's what she's going to do. No, she's decided to go up the valley again, and she could just make out the Jaeger, but I think she's going to go for the Runner Sorrente. Dialing in. Rounds out.
That was close.
Well, it landed alongside him because he pulled back rather quickly. Not that he had much warning of the shell arriving, but I suspect that he fired and realized he had to pull back anyway from our teammates. They're pushing over the bottleneck at the top of the map, the pass. See the Runner Sorrente alongside an Emil. 2 tanks with good gun depression. or one tank with good gun depression rather. You should see as well that the Jaeger was actually wiped out. And the enemy's getting pushed out of the town. Okay, from this direction, she should be able to get a different angle on the runner Sorrento and the Emil. There we go. Oh, she's decided instead to go for the town. There's a 268 version 4 hiding behind a house. She's going to put the round in there blind. Well, it didn't land exactly on the aim point, but it would have given that guy some splash. Meanwhile, our tanks are pushing through at the top of the map. They've killed the Emil. They've killed the runner Sorrento. They are now pushing towards the enemy cap area with 6 up on the enemy. Angelina hasn't accumulated much in the way of stun assist, but she does have a fair amount of damage. Rounds out in the M103. Direct hit, 314. Loads of stun assist there. Well, she just got a massive boost because somebody hit the M103 and killed him. The Conway got a direct hit, and we now see the enemy Arty's running, trying to get away from the cap area. And I think he's about to go down. Yes, he's gone. And now we've got an enemy Conway. Remember, these things have got fairly thin armor. Angelina's styling in as quickly as she can. Rounds out. Oh! And that was the last kill of the game. The shell arrived just a second too late. Here's the end of battle results, and that was the second class tanker for Angelina75 in the 212A. She managed to get a Bruiser medal as well for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, she got 7. And her win rate from that battle was 2,065. Now, does that beat Talon? Yes, it does, because he only had a second class and a Bruiser and 1864. So Angelina's 2,065 now beats Talon. She's now in the lead to get the weekend lion for the second week in a row. So let's have a look at the rest of the team scores. Well, she didn't do a huge amount of damage, but she did get a comfortable amount. The highest damage in the game actually went to the Object 268 version 4 on the enemy team. 5,216 hit points of damage. And in fact, Angelina did actually get a near miss on him. There you go. She actually did 185 hit points of damage from that splash shot that she fired in his direction. So he got the highest damage in the game. And the second highest damage went to the Centurion Action 10 on our team, who got 5,030. And the third highest damage was the CS59 with 2,922, with Angelina getting 2,058. A bit, middle of the scores. But in actual fact, only one player on the enemy team actually managed to get more hit points than she did. And that put her in 8th place overall because, of course, there were 6 members of her own team that were ahead of her. So yes, if he comes in at number 1, these guys up in line. So yes, she's in 8th. When it came to kills, it was the Centurion and the Object 268. They both got 3 kills each, followed by the CS59, the T57 Heavy, the Conway, the T110E4, who all got 2 kills. Angelina only got the 1 kill in that game. But when it came to base XP, she's, well, a little further down the table in 6th place because the Centurion managed to get 1,213, the only player to get over 1,000. The T57 Heavy managed 999, and the T13947, Angelina, 806. She fired 10 rounds, which is less than she would normally fire. In fact, I think actually that last shell, if it actually arrived before the game ended, before the Conway was killed, she might have actually managed to tip the balance and pick up enough to maybe get a first-class tanker and possibly even a higher score overall. 5 direct hits on the enemy, 2,058 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. She damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 1, so unfortunately missed out on getting a Confederate by just 1 tank, and 995 hit points of stun assist off 8 stuns. She earned 19,089 credits from the battle off a free play account, and 1,612 XP from the game as well. So yes, she's definitely in the lead with this round, and that means Talon is playing catch up now. So we'll have to wait and see what he comes up with. But Angelina did send me in another replay, which she asked me to have a look at. And of course, I think the members ought to have a look at it as well, just to see if there's something going on in this replay. It could be evidence of cheating or boosting. In this replay, Angelina's in the M53, M55, the Tier 9 American SPG.
Let's go.
Game on. Well, I think something you'll notice straight away in this game is that it's starting off quite usual, as some teams actually go towards the factories and some go off down the railway line. Angelina's dispersing to the corner, the western corner of the map, right at the top where you can get into the forest, and it's very difficult to be spotted unless the enemy gets close. What's noticeable is the large number of enemy tanks, or a large number of her own tanks on this team, don't get any damage whatsoever. Now, it could be that this is a sign that there was some rigging going on. Certain players actually do a huge amount of damage in this game. We'll see who those are very, very shortly. Rounds out. Direct hit for her first shot. The SD1 334, and she relocates immediately to avoid counter battery. You can see where that shell hit, right up on top of the turret. Now she's got the 203mm 8-inch howitzer. It's capable of 900 alpha, 52mm pen with standard reload of 40.27 seconds. Angelina's got a reload 33.39. Now she's having a quick look in the corner, and she just got a direct hit on her opposite number right at the other end of the map. So yes, she worked out where he was. She saw the tracer, and she managed to put a shell into the enemy, but didn't wipe him out. He's a 212A on the enemy team. And again, she's relocating to avoid him doing the same to her. Okay, right up against the corner now. Okay, going to the ST1 again. Rounds out. It's another direct hit, and she's off before he can respond to say, okay, I'll put a round in there. That's nice. So I've just had a quick check there to see if that enemy tank that was halfway up, hiding behind the buildings, could get a shot on her, and he can't. So she's going for the T28 this time. She's loaded. Rounds out.
That was close.
Even though the RNG put the shell slightly to the left, and that was the enemy counter battery failed because Angelina's too quick for him. So he doesn't get anything, and he's wasted a shot trying to get Angelina. She splashed the T28 with a last shell for 378, and it looks like he's decided it's too hot round here for him, so he's having to move. Angelina's going to the counter battery again. Just needs to see where the tracer's coming from this time. He won't stay in the same position unless he's very silly. Oh, now we just saw the tracer coming out, and she's already moving. No counter battery. Right up against the edge of the map again. T28's just been badly damaged. He was mauled by somebody else. I don't think he'll last very long. In fact, actually, he has been killed already. And our EBR's just found the 212, and we fired the round in just as he died. So unfortunately, we won't get anything from that shell, but the enemy Arty's out the game. And in fact, there's only 3 enemies left. They're Badger, they're BZ176, and the Object 268, and there he is, the 268. He's being attacked from two different directions at the same time. He's not going to last very long. One shot now. Angelina can possibly get a kill if she can get the shell in there, but he moves behind the building before she can fire. She fires it anyway to try and get some stun. No joy. I think this enemy is about to die. He's down to a one shot. He's gone. The other enemy are being absolutely hammered. The BC just died. The only enemy left is the Badger, and he's about to die. And that's it. That's the end of the game. Here's the end of battle results, and Angelina only managed to get some damage in that game, but she didn't even get a mastery on that one at all. And her win rate was only 1,250, but she did get some damage on the enemy. She did damage the enemy Arty for 374. She also managed to get substantial damage on the ST1 702 and the T28 378. But I'm afraid, yes, there was a lot of damage, or a lot of enemy tanks that got no damage whatsoever, just wiped out. And you can see even on her own team that there were a few players who didn't get any. Well, the AT-15 didn't get any damage. And this was, by the way, a tier 10 game, so he was a bit out of his class, you could say. But yes, very surprising actually. And it does appear that certain tanks like Centurion Action 10, the Strip 103B, were doing most of the damage, likewise with the Object 268 and the Badger. So a very odd game for Angelina. She actually felt that there was something going on in terms of possibly rigging, and that some tanks were just there to provide fodder for the enemy. But anyway, she did manage to get some credits out of the game, and she also got some XP. So it was just an example. This game was so quick, very quick indeed. Only lasted 5 minutes, 22 seconds. And by the time that she'd actually dealt with the enemy Arty, who finally got found in the end by the EBR, he was already wiped out or getting wiped out. And by the time she looked back to see who else was there available to kill, they're virtually all dead. There was only a few enemy tanks left. And yes, it was all very surprising. It was so quick for this game to end. So, yes, a little bit suspicious and very, very odd. If you enjoyed that replay or the replays, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.